Okay, let's start streaming. See if this is working. Not on Facebook. Probably because I haven't set it live yet. That might be it. Let's see. Still not showing up on Facebook. Let's check if it's on Twitch at least. Yep, working fine on Twitch. Well, why the hell isn't it working on Facebook? There's always some issue with Facebook. Everything is okay, so maybe the settings, scene set. Nope, the settings are correct. Maybe deactivate the publisher and activate it again. Come on, Facebook, you can do it. Maybe I just been waiting for like more than 10 minutes and now I need to recreate it on Facebook. Which is a bit stupid. Wait. Preview. Maybe it is working. Can take a few seconds. Okay, it's working. Go live. So we should be on all the platforms streaming now. Let's try to get our guests in. Probably should start the pre-show playlist from the beginning, which is here. Pain in the Asthma by Offense and Fairlight and Prosonics. These are demos from the past month that have been released in January. If this D.Fox is online, let's see if Dojoe is. I can just try calling them. Hope everything works for the best.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
We are streaming, so beware of that.
Great. No more. Should put it okay.
If you're planning or not. So.
We'll see.
If you don't want to stand up, then it's fine. You don't need pants.
No, it's. I'm fine right now. Okay.
Okay, so you guys should follow the playlist on Watch Together and not on Twitch, otherwise you will be, you know, lagged behind.
Yep.
Yep. That's the main thing. And now we are watching some buttocks kissing each other, because that's how Offense and Prosonics and whoever else did this, and Fairlight roll. That's the kind of stuff they like doing. I guess
so, yeah.
Only possible with Commodore 64. Not possible on
do
any
you
other
think
platform.
Do you think they like kissing butt cheeks themselves, or just showing that? That's the question.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe it's better not to find out.
Yeah. Well, I guess I can ask them if I'm drunk enough at some party eventually.
Yeah.
Hello, would you like to have your butt cheeks kissed?
We saw your demo and
why
you seemed to like it.
Why didn't you ask earlier?
Waiting for 10 years now.
Oh my god, I thought you'd never ask.
Exactly.
Okay, let's spam this a little bit. Spamming on Poet. I guess I should go to IRC as well. Some people don't leave IRC.
Okay.
That's not a bad idea. I'll fire up my IRC client as well.
By the way, how do we follow the Twitch chat? Should I keep the Twitch tab open somewhere or something?
Yeah, open Twitch and just mute it or pause it, and you will still see the text and be able to chat.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. IRC goes here.
So... Twitter spammed. Facebook spammed. I guess we're officially live now.
Oh my god.
Good.
Beware of what you say from here on forth.
I am never aware of what I'm saying. How am I supposed to know what I'm thinking before I heard what I'm saying?
Isn't that always the problem?
Life is hard. Life is complicated.
Yeah.
Oh, desktop.
New demo.
So I was trying to find out what the hell we're watching, and this is still Pain in the Asthma by Offensive Fairlight and Brosonics.
Okay.
So it's a 9-minute demo.
Oh.
So it's gonna take a while.
Oh yeah, it's a long one.
That's fine.
We need more Pain in the Asthma in our life.
Oh, I've had plenty of pain with asthma in my life already.
It's a nice demo.
Yeah.
Where was it released?
I have no fucking
Because I
clue.
haven't seen it yet.
I will check Poet. Or if Truck was here, he would say Demo Zoo. Actually, it seemed it was released outside any competition. Just released in January. Wow, people still do that?
Huh,
I guess so.
amazing.
No, released at Mega Mountain Meltdown X, whatever that is. I checked
I have not
CSTV.
heard of that party.
I guess it's just a Commodore party only. Let's see what other... It was the only release there, so I guess it was a very small party in Norway, apparently.
Okay.
CSTV
It's
knows
very
better
nice.
than Poet. Wah, 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 wah. Why do people put dubstep in everything nowadays?
Because they can, I guess.
Because we can. Hello Jeff and Metal Voids, welcome to the stream. How you guys doing?
Oh yeah.
We're killing time until it is time for the show to start. We have 20 minutes of watching random demos from the last month. Right now we are watching Pain in the Asthma, not to be confused with Pain in the Ass. Yeah, some people live with coffee. Actually, I'm one of those few people who do like computer stuff and don't drink coffee. And every time I say that to other computer people, they all look at me weird and ask, how do you survive? How is that possible? Life programming without coffee. How does your brain even kickstart?
I don't
The
drink
answer
that much
is
coffee
harder
either.
drugs.
Probably, yeah.
Or you're just one of those lucky persons who never got used to coffee at all, so
Yeah.
you don't need it.
It's all a matter of not getting used to the drug.
Yeah.
Once
Also,
you're
it's probably
dependent
because
on
you're
it, you
elite.
can't stop. Just don't get dependent. Just say no. Remember, kids, when they offer you coffee
come
at
on,
school, just say no.
Oh, come on, I can stop any time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna skip the credits scroller thing of this demo and go into one other demo released, I don't know when, but it was released by Access, and it's for the BK0011. So it's one of those Russian Spectrum versions thingies.
Oh, that could be nice.
Oh, it's one of the many Spectrum subdivisions.
Yep, that totally justifies the Spectrum category being subdivided.
Oh yeah.
By the way, are we streaming only on Twitch or on other platforms as well?
We should be streaming everywhere. On Facebook, YouTube,
Everywhere.
Twitch, and also Twitter, using Periscope.
And national television.
And national
And
television.
national television.
If this was assembly, we would also be on national television, but unfortunately our budget is limited.
Yeah. Do you have the YouTube link somewhere?
No, but I can get it.
Yeah, okay.
It's in my channel somewhere. Somewhere. I guess if I go to view channel, yeah, there it is. Link. Sorry about the double. I'll post the link on Skype if you want to share it somewhere. I guess I could post it on the chat as well.
Okay.
So if you guys like YouTube instead of Twitch or Facebook or CNET, you can use this link instead.
No, I was just asked for by somebody because Twitch doesn't seem to work.
Oh my god.
At least.
Twitch can be picky sometimes.
Yeah. It's not bad to have an alternative.
Yeah, but I mean, you can go to videosinsat.com, just like Porosyon just posted the link to, and that works. So
Okay.
It's a lot more scene-ish if you use CNET to watch the live thing.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm curious about CNET coverage of revision. I haven't talked with the guys if they want me to help out or if they, you know, have it covered.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind helping out, but
I think it does always help to have more hosts on the CNET show because usually they're quite short-staffed, and if Ziphod is there, he usually does like 12-hour shifts, which is a bit long. And if you have a truck on the microphone for 12 hours, it gets kind of complicated as well. So, why not? I'm sure they would appreciate any help.
I think usually CGI is also around, but we'll see.
Yeah, CGI is there, Bomba is there, but still, well, you can always ask, or just be a guest on the show. I mean,
yeah,
right. They have
I mean, if Stoneman manages,
can be a guest there.
If Stoneman manages to be a guest every single revision, he just goes there and starts talking. I guess I can drop by and just, you know, hello,
exactly,
I am Stoneman of Accession. My father is DDT. You should all vote for Accession, except we didn't do a demo for the compo this year.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, what demo are we watching? Let me check.
I would say it's called Unchained.
Unchained?
Yeah.
I think those are greetings, I think. Yeah.
Ah, those are greetings. Ah, okay. I just saw it on there.
Yeah,
okay.
Unchained is the group. The demo is called Spectre Outside. It says there.
It's a nice demo. That's it says MS-DOS intro.
Spectre Outside. Okay.
Oh yeah, the cute demo.
It was for DOS apparently. Huh. An 8K for DOS. Okay, so not bad for DOS stuff. Great that people still do DOS stuff nowadays.
Yeah, mostly 256 bytes, I think, though. But on the other hand, we had 2 years ago had a MS-DOS demo combo as well. That was pretty cool.
This one is for the Game Boy Color.
Yeah,
which is
nice.
also a great platform.
Yeah, just the other day I pulled out my old Nintendo DS again with the nice flash card and the emulators and everything on it, and fired up the Game Boy emulator. And turns out I had a few Game Boy demos on there.
Go figure.
It's really I was amazed all over again by the audio quality of that sound chip.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's really-
I love the sound of the Game Boy.
Absolutely. No wonder we have people running around everywhere with LSDJ.
Yeah, I mean, if you follow the chiptune and 8-bit scene, it gets a bit overcrowded. I mean, so many people doing Game Boy sounds, but
Yeah.
I still like it.
And it is one of the best, if you ask me, it's one of the best sound chips of that era.
It is a cute demo.
Ooh, it's like 3D. It's like no Kelvin,
Maybe some
but
kind of-
no Lisa.
Yeah. That's kind of a little scary.
Yeah.
Finding Nemo.
Finding demo.
Exactly.
Oh, this looks nice. Animation, of course, but well. Yeah, the chat people are saying that there are not enough Linux demos. That's a shame indeed. I mean, do more.
Yep.
I remember that period in Puet where this guy Stefan from Sweden, he would down thumb all Linux demos because they just supported Linux. Just like his troll move, he would just go, "Oh, a new Linux demo, down thumb. I didn't even see it. I'm just down thumbing because it's Linux."
Yeah.
Sounds like he has a personal problem with the operating system.
Maybe he had to recompile the kernel one too many times.
Probably.
Oh, he's just pissed because he couldn't install it anywhere.
I really like the shape of Ubuntu, like the developments that they've been doing. That's the only Linux development that I follow a bit better.
Well, at least when they started not rolling their own solution to everything.
Hey Neonai, how's it going? Can you speak fluent Portuguese yet? Neonai is a Danish guy, but he's living in Portugal right now, so he's still in the process of learning Portuguese.
Oh, hey, Dascon. Did you become a juror yet?
We can talk about that in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about that to Dascon right now.
Well, you can repeat yourself if you want, but I mean...
So Dascon, you have 9 minutes to commit. Oh, 8.
Yep.
Or Jojo will never stop bugging you about it.
Yeah, sorry that I'm eating, guys.
That's fine.
I need to use all the time before the show starts to feed myself.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, you guys are watching a cute demo, so it's fine.
We're all fed too now. We're eating our demo food.
Should probably skip the
Oh, you have a
credits.
proper microphone there. Nice. Dojo, I see your mic. Your mic is showing. Woo!
This is
That's better?
Laughing My Ass
That's
Off
better.
by Outsiders. It's for the ZX Spectrum.
Oh.
Because there was this party in Russia, D.Halt, that happened in January, so that's why there are more Spectrum releases than usual. Samurai without a katana is like a samurai with a katana.
Uh-huh.
Only without a katana, obviously.
Ooh.
Well, that's
Laughing my ass off.
That's some very, very deep truth
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. That really moved me. Frank is asking if anyone is coming to the BCC 64 demo party in Berlin. When is that, Frank? Can you tell us some dates? Is it like next weekend or something? I know there is what's it called? Demo bit happening in Bratislava in next weekend. Or this weekend. Not sure of other parties. End of February. BBC? Is it like related to the BBC Micro, or is just acronym for something else? Actually, I'm gonna be in Berlin in February, but on the weekend of 17 and 18. So too early for the demo party.
Oh, happy birthday, Dascon.
Yeah, happy birthday,
He
Dascon.
said it's his birthday.
He was saying he probably wouldn't be able to show up because it's his birthday. And apparently he already celebrated everything he needed to celebrate.
Well, you can celebrate with us now.
Yeah.
Shall we sing something for him?
Well, you do that. I'm not nearly as drunk enough to do that. Sing in public? No.
Oh well.
I don't even sing to myself.
You should go do some karaoke or something. It's kind of what they call confrontational therapy.
Confrontational therapy?
Like,
Only
you know, where people who are afraid of spiders, you just throw them into a pit full of spiders.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
And if they don't die, they overcome the fear or something like that.
Exactly.
That
I used to play Rock Band a lot. That was fun.
Oh, nice.
And I found out while we played Rock Band that s03e is an amazing singer. You should show
is
that
he?
to us at revision. Yeah, he is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he knows all the lyrics to all the hard rock. All the hard rock. Sure, that's a term.
Yeah. All the hard rock in the world.
Not
Yeah.
hard drugs, just hard rock.
Yeah. It's different, kids.
Don't do drugs, okay? Just do hard rock. And punk. It's okay to do punk as well, I guess.
I guess so, yeah.
And dubstep, because it's hype.
Is it? I mean, is it still? I mean,
Well,
Skrillex was like 5 years ago, so that's
Yeah.
officially dead now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's sort of joining drum and bass in those niche genres, you know, that were immensely popular, and then 10 years later, people are just riding another fad. I think the hype nowadays is trap music with lo-fi hip-hop.
Oh yeah, thank you very much.
And
I'll
retro
pass
new wave.
Okay.
Retro new wave is also very hip nowadays.
I understand
yeah.
French New Wave and I got scared for a bit. French New Wave.
Isn't all new wave
Whatever.
French? Now I'm confused. Okay, I think I misplanned or miscalculated how long the pre-show would be. We only have 3 minutes and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 other demos to play. I guess we should play the text mode demo compo demo. Because it's cool and we like text mode. So I guess that's what's coming up next before the show starts. This one that is playing right now is Rise of the Black Storm by Mystic Bites, and it's for the Atari STE.
And
Looks
it's a
very Atari.
1080p 15, which is very important. For
High
Atari
quality
STE.
shit. Okay, last chip of the day. Oh, colors! No one would expect the color inquisition.
I actually do like the bubbly, glitchy 303e music. I didn't think the Atari sound chip could produce these kinds of sounds.
Apparently it can.
Yep.
Unless it's a fake!
Ah, they're just playing back an MP3.
It looks kind of nice.
Okay, so apparently we won't have time to play another demo. So, that's a shame. We'll end the pre-show with The Rise of the Black Storm by Mystic Bites. Okay, so welcome everyone to Mystery Demoscene Theater 9000. This show today is episode number 2 of the 3rd season in 2018. Aren't you all glad we have finally reached the 3rd season? And we are doing a special based on the Meteoriks awards. They are coming up. They happen yearly. Daskon is asking what platform that was. Yep. That was the Atari STE. So as I was saying, this show is about the Meteoriks Awards. I have with me today Dojoe and D.Fox, both of them involved in the organizing of the Meteoriks Awards. So I guess I'll start with you, Dojoe. Tell me a little bit about the Meteoriks Awards. For how long have they been running? What is the purpose of having the Meteoriks?
Yeah, so the Meteoriks are kind of like let's call it Best of the Demoscene or Best of the Year award, where we try to find the outstanding productions of each past Demoscene year, kind of with the power of hindsight and less inebriated than people at a party. And so
and less raging like people on Poet.
that too. We kind of outsource that to Poet.
And so hands up people who prefer Demozoo over Poet, or people who prefer Poet over Demozoo. I guess you guys will have to say which one you prefer, if it's Poet or Demozoo. And people in the chat, please write Poet or Demozoo, or both. I mean, if you use and like both. So Dojoe, which one do you prefer?
I'm kind of impartial.
You're impartial?
I think
I like to say they both have their uses.
Exactly. I use them for different things. I use Poet to read up on the comments, and I use Demozoo if I do actual research.
Okay, like the member, what they did, all their releases, that kind of stuff. The credits are a bit better on Demozoo, at least.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's basically my use case, yeah.
Daskon uses Poetsu, which is the best case. Like, it merges both. It's like combined.
Yeah.
What we are watching right now, for those who are wondering, is Light and Magic by Gaspod. It was a wild entry, I believe actually at Revision, that was released in 2014. Let me check that real quick.
I think it was Evoke. Not sure, but I think it was.
Might have been. Let me open. I'm using.
I don't know.
No, Revision 2014, and it won the animation.
Okay.
Yep.
You're the main organizer. You're supposed to know every single release that ever won your demo party.
I should know that, yeah. But well, 2014. That's like 4 years ago, so that's my memory doesn't go back that far.
I happen to know that he did win the Meteoric with this.
Yes, he did.
He did? Amazing.
Yep. And the combo and the Meteorics, so we won everything that he could possibly have won. Just with projection mapping.
Handing Gespo the trophy at Revision, but I don't know which year. Maybe
I guess 2015. So,
probably not just once. Yep.
So 2014 was the first year that you guys created the Meteoriks. Can you tell me a little bit more about why they were created? Well, I know, but I mean, for the guys who are like new to the demo scene or to the Meteoriks Awards, can you explain a little bit the background behind it?
I can try. Was 15 was the first one. 2014 yep. We started. Well, we started quite a bit before. I think the year after the Scene.org Awards were last held, which was 2012.
I think the last Scene.org Awards was 2011.
11, okay. So yeah, 1 or 2 years after that, we since nobody picked up the job, I was discussing with a lot of people about creating something new, and it took another year or two to have a fleshed out concept for that. And the idea was not to just do the same things that the Scene.org Awards did, but to do something a bit different, like give more power to the public, so to speak. Like everybody can become a juror, everybody can suggest a production. For 2 years we had everybody suggest categories with the public voting, which was the general idea was to have an award again, which is, I mean, there's no such thing as an official Demoscene award anyway, so we just thought we do something as an annual event, similar to the Scene.org Awards, but as said, the basic principle behind it was more transparent, or it was supposed to be more transparent.
How did that suggestion of categories thing work out? I mean, after 4 years, I mean, in this year you don't have the category suggestion anymore. So can you tell us a little bit more why that is?
I guess Dojoe is better suited to answer that question because this year he's in charge of the general management and organizing of the jurors and the public voice. That's Dojoe as well. So Dojoe, you can tell that story.
Yeah, you're
still going to live to regret that, but having me as your voice.
That's just we'll see.
But anyway, no, I think it turned out pretty great. We wouldn't have had categories like that's not possible on this platform in the past if we hadn't polled the entire demo scene for ideas. And I also think that we wouldn't have the set of categories that we have this year, and kind of feel that it's a good set of categories with a good foundation if we hadn't had a lot of suggestions that we got.
Can we maybe go through what categories exist real quick, just so people are aware? Do you have the list, or I can try open up a
I have it in my head. We have yeah, we kind of divided. We kind of went for 4, let's call them classic demo party categories this year. Which is, we have one category for, we call them low-end productions, where we had a pretty big discussion.
Retro platforms?
Yeah, we had a pretty big discussion about what's low-end and what isn't over the past years, and the best way we've come up right now is like, we're not, it's not something about the age of the platform, as well about the technical capabilities, and usually we kind of try to draw a line at a 16-bit data bus. But
yeah, that's how we do it in revision as well.
Yeah, that's kind of the rough boundary, and the final decision is left to the jurors.
Okay. So I think there was some backlash that you had last year because of the 64K category versus the 4K, or 64K versus the demo, because a lot of 64Ks ended up being on the demo. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I'll just let me just finish up the list of categories.
Yeah.
We've got 3 kind of high categories for like PC. And there we kind of made a division by production size because that's like, sorry, I gotta mute the
Take a
audio.
look at the list.
Quite loud.
That's
Yeah.
super distracting.
That's what you get for playing for awarding Epoch in 2014.
I would award Epoch any day again.
This was an awesome demo.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. But anyway, high-end categories, 3 divided by size, and we went for the full demo category, like anything from 64K up to wherever. The 64K category, which is from 8 kilobytes to 64 kilobytes, and then everything 8 kilobytes and below. Because we figure that those 3 categories represent 3 very, very different techniques and programming, especially programming, but also content creation techniques. And we've had when we try to come up with categories, we try to match them to the past year of productions. And last year we had a lot of very good demos. We had a lot of very good 64Ks, and we had an absolute shit ton of awesome 4K and 8K demos.
Yeah, and this year you're gonna have it again.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that. And so, apart from those classic categories, we also came up with 4 categories that kind of focus more on individual artistic aspects of a demo. We have the best soundtrack category, which awards not an individual soundtrack, but a production for a good and fitting and very pleasing soundtrack that also matches the idea and the style of the demo. We've got the best visuals category for great color scheme and great 3D models, great animation.
Wouldn't that be direction?
Thank you for asking that question.
Not in my opinion, but Dojoe has the right answer, I'm sure.
I was actually going to say that this best visuals is what many people think to be, or there's some people say it like this and some people say it like this, but we kind of try to make a distinction between the visual content, like the art style and the textures and the modeling and whatnot, and things like an atmosphere or the idea behind the demo. How does the demo convey the idea or the story it wants to tell? Does it have a story to tell? Does it create an atmosphere that kind of immerses you? And that
I think on previous years you had like a category that was for storytelling kind of thing, and this year you don't have it. Is that now it merged with best direction now?
Exactly. We went for we tried to go for kind of a little broader categories, and that of course that meant merging some of the more specialized categories into a broader category, and we decided that best direction would be a good merger of like camera paths, and we bounced around the idea of a best atmosphere award, which also went into best direction now, or best storytelling.
Okay.
To give, like from my perspective, a big difference between best visuals and best direction would be, not sure if you remember it, there was in 2011 4K by group Control Alt Test, and it was called 4, and it was a 4-letter story intro, which in my opinion had great direction, had a story, it had atmosphere, it had a story arc, and that would, in my opinion, obviously fit in best direction, but obviously not in best visuals because it's a 4K with text. But so that will be something where I would draw the line. So the direction is not just visuals.
Exactly.
It can be visuals, but it can also be like pure text, as we could see from this one.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. I'm sure that within the best visuals, you can also have. Doesn't matter if it's a 4-color demo on the +4 or if it's a Cocoon mega demo with 300 megabytes of models and textures. It can fit in the same category.
Of course, the category that everyone says that is missing is the socks category, because a lot of people have been investing into the sock platform lately, and it seems to be underrepresented on the Meteoriks awards. Do you care to comment on that, Dojo?
We actually did bounce that idea around when we discussed categories, but we tried to find. We actually went to Poet and looked for sock demos, and there were a lot of them, but all of them were by Gaspod, so it would have been kind of a boring category.
And he already won in 2014 an award, so he already has one of those statues in his battle.
He has one of those, yeah.
I mean, there was this one. There was this one Coolers production, but that was a few years back, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. I have another
make
question.
A category like
new demo on a new platform, or a platform that hasn't had demos yet. Have you guys considered that kind of category? Like if it's a world first, you know.
A world first. Well,
like on a computer that never had a demo before.
I would obviously depend on the given year in if we had enough entries for a category like that. But I like that idea.
Because people in the demo scene do that a lot, like try to do a first demo on a specific platform. So I think there would be more than 5 every year. Well, I didn't count, so that's a nice concept as well, to try and count and see if there would be enough nominees to justify it.
And that's what we did. But actually, I think there is a category for that, and that's the Outstanding Technical Achievement category.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That could fit, yeah.
Because I mean, breaking ground on a new platform, what's that when it's not an outstanding technical achievement?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the great thing about having broadly defined categories, because now you can find a category for a lot of things.
Okay, I'm gonna skip this demo that's been playing because it's 16 minutes long, and I think otherwise we will just watch Balknecht rocket science for a very long time. So I'm gonna play another one which is also quite long. Which is Comaland.
Oh, yeah. I like
this one is 15 minutes long, so it's even bigger. So, but yeah, so now we have a new background demo while we talk about the Meteoriks Awards. So we were listing all the categories that exist. Did we run through them all, or is there anything else you would like to mention?
There's one left.
Which is?
There is one left and one omission that we probably want to talk about. There's our new talent category, which has been which kind of has been
from the beginning,
non-negotiable from the beginning, which is where we award the group or the individual scener who made their big first entrance to the scene in that year. Okay. Either by being a complete newbie or by having been unnoticed before, and now suddenly everybody's talking about them.
Okay, that's a fair enough question. It goes in line with an award that Evoke usually has every summer.
Yep.
So, I think it's important to support new blood and encourage them to, you know, if you are waiting to win a major demo compo before you get recognized, it might take quite a few years of constant demo making until you evolve your skills long enough until you finally do a breakthrough. So these kind of awards help motivate new people to, you know, keep doing things and trying things. And
I'd like to stress that those are not motivational thumbs. We are, at least when I look at the nominees we came up over the last years, those were all very good productions by very capable people. So those awards are also saying these people are going somewhere.
We have high hopes for them in the future.
Just went somewhere in the previous year. Yeah, I wonder if just to make sure I am not involved into any process regarding the Meteoriks. Just take care of the logistics, and Revision is the platform where we can present them. But I have no influence over the jury, over the staffing, nothing. But something I would be curious, because we talked about new talent. What do you think about the Kevin demo by SpacePix? I mean, we know SpacePix, they make demos for like 10 years or more. But in my opinion, that was actually a breakthrough demo for them, because before it was like, well, I don't know.
think most people already knew SpacePix before.
Yeah, but it still was
Turkish Delight. Most of everyone I talk with, they know Turkish Delight. And that was by SpacePix and like 10 years ago or something.
Wasn't that Spectrum?
I'm not sure.
I think it was Spectrum.
Now you're leaving me in doubt. I will search. And for those who don't know Turkish Delight, please go see it. Turkish Delight 2,
great.
Which is Typhoon 2, Turkish Delight. Yes, it was Spectrum, but I'll put the link here.
But isn't SpacePix actually Spectrum?
Yes.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows who the SpacePix really are.
I kind of know.
Certainly not me. I certainly don't know who SpacePix are. Yeah.
But I mean, if it's a new group, fake group, or people who were previously in the demo scene, it doesn't really feel like they deserve the recognition as much as a completely newbie to the demo scene. Because I mean, making a new group, it's relatively easy, you know. You're working in a production, you don't want to put it on your old group. Well, let's just come up with a new name for the group.
Yeah, and that's kind of a problem we've been facing with the new talent category. And so far, we've gotten lucky. But we have to do our research and make sure that we're not just awarding established demo sceners under a new name.
Yeah, that is true. That can be tricky. I'm gonna skip to the next demo, which is Cubescapes from Decadence, Amiga 4K intro. Also won a Meteoric award. And what other category are we missing discussing? Is the public voting. Because there is no public voting this year. Can you tell us why?
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Essentially...
Was it because it sucked? Was it because of Fairlight? Or Razer 1911?
No.
Did Razer 1911 hack the public vote again?
Well, let's put it this way. Hacking the public voting would be not a very hard thing to do. Let's just say that. The sample size we have in terms of voting is just hasn't been too reliable. I mean, it worked out for the past 3 years, but we weren't quite confident with the number of
Can you share the number,
participants. I'd rather not.
Was it like 30, 150,
no,
300?
No. It was let's say it was a 3-figure every year, but spread out over all entries that were voted for. So
I remember in the old days we had disc mags and charts mags where a lot of people voted.
Yeah.
So why do people have such difficulty in voting nowadays? Even worse, because it's only one single category. Let me ask you another thing. You have this ability that you can nominate productions to a specific category. How many people actually use that functionality?
Actually, that's quite a lot, actually, yeah?
Yeah. We're getting a constant stream of emails from the system about production suggestions.
Yeah. Same was with the categories. I think we had like 20 to 50 category submissions every year, or like at least the 2 years where we tried that. So that was not bad. But there are quite some duplicates. And as with the productions, that works out quite well, I think.
Okay, that's it. Maybe just a single best demo of the year isn't something that people really believe in voting very much, because they feel it's like
Maybe
biased and their vote doesn't really matter much. I don't know.
I mean, if there's one trend in the demo scene that can also be observed on Poet, is that people just tend to vote and comment less and less every year.
Really?
Doesn't really reflect. I think so. It doesn't really reflect.
I wouldn't say so. I would like to see some hard statistics to prove that, because I don't think that's
the hard statistics
true.
Is that Revision doesn't have a top 10 demo yet, so I think that's just lack of voting. No, I mean, I really can't say it's a feeling, and or at least, I mean, obviously the first, second, and maybe third place of a party, they get a lot of votes, but not like in the 500-600 range where we had it like 10 years ago, which was also not very common, but it happened. And it doesn't happen for the last several years. So I don't know. Maybe Gargay can whip up some comment statistics over the years. I would be very interested in that, because I think it might be just my personal feeling, but I think there might be something to it. I think Gloom did some Demoscene statistics a couple of years back.
But that was for number of demos that were generated on not the comments. So it's different.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah, but
can I just do a little pause in what you're doing, because Dojoe wants to explain why this demo is here and why it's bloody awesome, and then we can resume the discussion about comments.
Again. Sure. Oh right, yeah. This demo is kind of
this didn't win any Meteoriks awards,
I guess.
This was just nominated, I think, for best soundtrack, I believe. And Dojoe, please tell me, why did you choose this demo to be played on the playlist?
Because everybody's always wanting Eternal Dream of Beauty to be played. I mean, look at at least every demo party where Moki is present, Eternal Dream of Beauty has to be played.
At least once.
If not thrice.
Because it has unicorns! Okay, so back on topic. We were talking about the number of comments on Poet. You think it's declining? I don't think that's true. I still see, every time there's a new releases, there's always like at least 40 people commenting, and when something is really good, like, number multiplies. So I don't think I can agree with you there, but I would definitely like to see some statistics. So if Gargay or Sega Music has access to the database that can provide that information, that would be quite welcome. What else can we talk about? We were talking about the public voting. That's why we ended up talking about comments. So yeah, you guys decided to cancel public voting altogether. I think I have to agree with you. I think we already have like best demo, best technical achievement. So the public voting would always be like repetition of other awards. So
it used to be very close to the best demo award, at least.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if that's true, but I would say that the nominees of the Public Choice Award at Meteoriks was very close to the Poet Top 10 of the year. At least that would be my opinion, and I'm not sure if I'm right there, but it would be just a guess. And maybe that's why people don't really think they need to vote anymore, because like, well, it's obvious that's the best demo, so why should I vote for it? It's the same. Maybe it's the same why people don't go to elections.
Yeah, that's a nice comparison.
Who knows?
One thing that we talked about charts mags before, and there don't seem to be many charts mags anymore, or disc mags with charts in them. I know there are still a few for Commodore and Amiga, but I'm not sure if they really have proper charts. My guess is no.
I don't know. No.
So it's curious. Do you think that Meteoriks really replaces that need that people had to compare the stuff being released outside demo parties? You think this is completely covered, or people are just being lazy and not doing more charts-oriented stuff?
It's a good question. I don't know. Well, I guess maybe poor it is enough for the people. Yeah, why not? I mean, I remember the last disc mag that had charts in it that I remember was Pain magazine from Switzerland, but that is over for more than 10 years, I think.
Yeah.
But that they had charts in it, and I also remember that that the number of votes, if I'm correct, wasn't that high even 10 years ago for the disc mags. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the recurring complaints that people have about charts mags were the number of voters was always diminishing. It was never as high as it was like for The Last in Phobia or something like that. We always had to go hunt for votes, and people who would vote only would vote like in 1 or 2 categories. They would never vote for all of the categories. So it would always be like it doesn't really measure up the whole of the demo scene feedback, so it would kind of lose the point of doing a chart. So yeah. But
I mean, maybe it's also part of thought. Maybe it's also part of maybe our discussion culture is changing, and I feel like these days it's a lot more common to kind of attack people just for the opinions they state. And so
I actually think it's a lot more neutral nowadays, because in the old days I remember very heated flame wars, which I haven't seen recently.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's my opinion. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Guys on the chat, let me know if you agree with Dojo on this one. Are we having more or less flame wars recently?
It is definitely changing. I wouldn't say there's no flame war going on. There still is, but it mostly seems to be centered about what was it? I think 2 or 3 years ago we had like this huge discussion about code of conduct at demo parties, because there were some people overstepping in some areas regarding alcohol consumption, and that was one of the most heated discussions in recent years, which also shows that I think we just matured as a community in comparison from 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
Well, the demo scene is getting older. I mean, it seems to... Most of the people that are still on the demo scene come from the 90s and some even from the 80s, and there are not as many new people as the number of people leaving the demo scene. So it feels like people who come to the demo parties nowadays, the age average is probably around... let me know if you guys agree. Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. And
so we start to have kids, so we start to be more responsible.
Yes,
actually,
you have less time. You have less time to piss off other people on the internet, I guess.
That's also true.
And Dascon has the right idea. Competition left for friendship, and that's what I've been noticing. I mean, I've been organizing demo parties since, I don't want to say, a long time ago, and as you can also see in the competitions, I mean, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, we had some demos that were just made to piss off another demo group, dissing people and everything. That was all replaced, and also the group-based bias that you had, like, oh, I'm a Fairlight guy, no, I like those guys better, and the people are not battling each other the way they did 20 years ago. They're cooperating, and they do releases with more than one group because they find people that are great for a certain production, and I think that's actually a great thing. I like that. I mean, not that the old days weren't fun, but it's much smoother now, and it's not a bad thing. I think that's what it means to grow up, and we did grow up as a community.
Yeah. In
my opinion, at least. Not everybody did.
Some people are still young at heart, let's call it that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're a bunch of nerds after all.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
now we're slightly more responsible nerds.
Yeah.
Tell me one thing. How do you think in terms of organizing demo parties and stuff like that? Are we more responsible or less responsible than before? To me, it feels like we're pretty much the same. Although back then, some party organizers were like doing very weird things, like stealing beamers and stuff like that. And nowadays we don't really have that. But in terms of the whole organizing thing, it seems like it's pretty much, it was already quite professional back then.
I think we have our share of very professional and very
unprofessional.
I wouldn't say unprofessional. I would say improvised parties. Like there are parties that are like on a level as such as revision, where you have to organize them in a professional way.
Yeah.
Otherwise they would fly.
Exactly the thing. There are parties like. I mean, I have a good comparison because I did the Ultimate Meeting and I'm doing revision, and the Ultimate Meeting is a completely different event. Even though we have the same stuff, we just have it for 200 or 150 to 200 people, not for 1,000. So we had a lot less paperwork. We had a lot less problems. Also, a lot less staff. I mean, the Ultimate Meeting was like 15 to 20 people. Organizing everything, and revision is like 65 to 70. It scales quite well, but also obviously there are some steps in terms of how professional, or professional is the wrong word, how
tightly organized.
How tightly organized it has to be for it to work. Because I mean, if the Ultimate Meeting would tank and nobody comes, okay, we are down, I don't know, 5,000–6,000 euros, worst case, if that happens to revision, and they last minute they say, no, we cannot rent you the hall, or the fire brigade tells us, no, sorry, you cannot do the event here because we have reasons to or forbid it, then we're down a much different sum. So I guess it just comes with, not only with budget, but with the responsibility you have as a party, and there's also a different technical aspect, I think. I mean, if you look at a party like like the Ultimate Meeting, or like Under Construction, what it is now, it is much easier to replace a projector at a smaller party than at a party as revision. I mean, our projector and revision hangs on the ceiling. It costs 50,000 euros, and it's not easy to get a replacement. But like at a smaller party, I mean, worst case, that's what we did for the Ultimate Meeting 2 times. Where we figured out, okay, our projector that we have from like some friends is not powerful enough. So, well, we just get another one in 2 hours, and we just, I don't know, okay, the screen is a bit smaller now, but still we have a party. But I think that kind of organizing style wouldn't work at like revision or evoke or assembly, obviously. So I guess with the size of the event comes
with the great size comes great responsibility.
something like that. That doesn't mean that we are suddenly professionals or like we advanced a level or something. It's just I don't know. It's maybe it's also a bit like growing up. I mean, I was also a breakpoint organizer, and even though the events are basically the same in terms of visitors, they were organized quite differently. But I think that's also partly because we're all 10 years older now. We know how to do things differently. We know how to resolve personal conflicts better, if we even have them. I remember during breakpoint times, or the first years of the Ultimate Meeting, there was a lot of shouting, a lot of pissing off other people from other teams because they messed up with a cable or something. And nowadays, it's not an issue anymore because, like, okay, shit happens.
Yeah.
Apologize, get over it, and let's organize a fucking party, and don't get hung up on who forgot which USB extension cable.
Talking about revision and organizing teams, can you tell us first how many people are involved in the organizing team? And second, I hear you're still looking for more people for this year, so maybe you want to go over that?
Yes. Usually we are about 65 to 70 people, depending on the year. Most of those people are in the info team. That's about 20 to 25 people, depending on the year as well, depending on how many people we can get for that. Then we have the network team, which is I think 5 or 6, together with the power team. We have a compo team of also varying size. I think it's like 10 to 15 people. The beam audio and streaming team is also around 5 to 6. Oh, it should be more. Well, don't sue me. I don't know.
I'm not the leader of that group in particular.
So, yeah, and there's fluctuation in every team basically every year, because some people need a break. Like, as you can see, because we are looking for people helping out the compo team. We had some people who were like, okay, this year I just want to be visitor again, which is totally fine, obviously. That's their right. I mean, nobody does it for money, or and people are obviously entitled to have a year off or two, or just quit the team. That's perfectly fine, as long as we find a replacement. And I think every year the team changes about 10 to 20%, depending on the respective teams. The info team has the most fluctuation because it's a very hard job, and sometimes you just need a break because it's really hard work. You
want to enjoy revision for what it is and not be hung up on timetables and stuff like that. Yeah,
and sometimes people don't have enough vacation time, or have family, or have other obligations. I mean, we had quite some organizers having to take a year off because somebody got married over Easter. Not them, but family members or close friends. So well, that has done some. That's more important than the party, which is, as I said, perfectly fine. Yeah, I think right now we're looking for info team members. That is, I won't sugarcoat it, it's a very hard job, but it's also, I think...
What kind of schedule does... what are the responsibilities and what schedule do info team people have?
Well, info team, usually you have like 4 shifts, 2 6-hour and 2 4-hour shifts over the 3.5 days of the party, which, and everybody is a team of 4 to 5 people. Ideally, we have 5 people per shift, but the night shifts where there's not too much stuff going on, they can survive with 4 people. And what they do is, well, they let people in, they get the entrance fees, sell T-shirts, put on the bracelets, scan tickets, which doesn't sound like a lot of work, but if you have 50 people standing in line, you have to work quickly, and we always have like usually 2 people at that point, and then at that point of sale, basically at the entrance, and you have 2 people who do nothing else but taking care of the coffee machines, selling beverages, which is, depending on what time it is, a hell of a lot of work. Just imagine, like, okay,
compo break.
Compo break. You have a 15-minute compo break between Amiga and PC,
and 1,000 people want to get a new
400
beer.
People, want to have a beer, and it's just horrible. I mean, but it's also I've never done revision infodesk, sadly and gladly, because I have enough other responsibilities. But most people at Infoteam really enjoy the work because it's very rewarding. You are the closest contact with the visitors that you can have as an organizer at the party, because everybody will come to you eventually, and there have never been problems. People are always nice, and I think if you're like a people person, that's a very rewarding position to have. Yeah.
What perks do you have for being in the organization team of revision?
Perks.
I heard you have free food, at least.
Yeah, we have free food during the party, during build-up. We have our own cooks during build-up. Build-up is like Tuesday to Friday until the party starts. It's a lot of work, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on if you're just like if you're just muscle, or if you have to lead a team that builds up complex technical things. But we need a lot of muscle at Revision as well to put up the big sound rig and the screen and put the fences outside and everything. We need a lot of muscle for that. And the perks are obviously, well, yeah, we have free food, you get free entrance for obvious reasons. And I think, I mean, everybody who has ever organized or helped organize a demo party should know that, or should have should know the feeling that it's not only about the perks, it's about how you feel doing it. I mean, that's why I got into organizing, because it felt great being part of a team that helps making an event possible. And for me, that's usually the reason why I organize, because it feels great.
Yeah.
And other perks, I mean, it's hard to describe the type of team spirit that can happen during the build-up. I mean, it's 3.5 days where everybody is working hard, and in the evening we share some beers or have some other drinks, and we eat together 3 times a day. There's a lot of discussion going on, and you can also learn a lot from just looking over your shoulder to the other teams. I mean, if you're like info team, there's nobody keeping you from having a lot of what the network team does, how the seminar team works, get to know those people, and the next year, why not change a team? We had that quite a lot of, not a lot of times, but a couple of times where people said like, okay, I want to do something else. What can I do? And usually there is a lot to do, so there's no reason to be stuck in one team forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's like organizing within the team is a very a very important social aspect of organizing. And I enjoy, even though I'm usually not a people person, I enjoy the build-up at Revision because I get to talk to a lot of people. A lot of people where I usually don't have the opportunity to talk to during the year or ever. There are some people who are just at Revision, and that's I think it's great.
How many different nationalities did you have at Revision last year? Do you remember?
In the Orga team?
Well, I guess I can also ask that. Visitors. I was thinking about completely the party, but also in the organizing team. I know you guys have many not from Germany organizers as well, right?
Yeah. For the visitors, I think we peak around 34, 33 countries usually from all over the world, which is great. I think last year we had some people from Brazil, and there's some Portuguese people as well, I heard.
Yeah. We usually are around. Actually, I've never been to Revision. This is going to be my first. I'm really excited.
I know. Really. It's about time.
Yeah, I was after Breakpoint. I was like, I already know what happens there. I don't have time to speak with people because there's so much thing going on. I just became lazy. Yeah. But I'm going back to Revision. I'm really happy about that, and I'm looking forward to seeing a senior-only party again. So that's gonna be fun. One perk that you didn't mention, if you are part of the compo team, is that you see productions before anyone else does.
Yes, that can happen depending on which part of the compo team you're part of. If you are part of the recording team, you will see everything, or you're able to see everything that will be pre-recorded, which is game, all old school, and Amiga, and sometimes Wild. Wild will be recorded usually as well, because we don't have the time to have everything be played live during the Wild combo, because that would just take too much time. So yeah, you get to see a lot of stuff. You will, I think, learn a lot about how old school recording works, which, from what I heard, is incredibly hard, or can be incredibly hard. It's not just
little quirks.
Oh, there's an Amiga, I'll just plug it in here and we get a perfect HD signal, frame perfect. No,
not gonna happen.
There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work there, and Gasman and Charlie and Oasis, they sometimes have to do 4 to 5 recordings to have a really good capture of the release, because, well, sometimes the demo drops frames, or it doesn't sync the sound. Sometimes it crashes, and sometimes you have a problem with the recording device and everything. So it's tedious work, but if you enjoy that kind of work, that should be a lot of fun there. Yeah.
Okay, I guess we should go back to Meteoriks now. What we're watching right now is 88 miles per hour by Ornette.
Oh, yeah.
It was, I think it won an award. Let me check which one. It was.
It's definitely that's not possible on this platform.
Yes, it is indeed.
Because
from
because it is not possible on that platform.
It was also nominated for Best Low-End Demo, but it didn't won that one because We Were At from Oxygen won that one.
Okay.
And I don't know if you have that on the playlist actually. If we do, yeah, I guess it's a nice opportunity to jump to that one. So we already talked about the categories. What else is there left to talk about?
Well, there's certainly
the obvious. We need more jurors pitch.
Yes,
exactly.
So
I was going to say that.
I guess Dojoe, go ahead. Tell people that they should be juries now, or within the next few weeks, I think.
Yeah, go apply for jury, people. Because it is a very rewarding job, and you get to
judge.
You get to have a say in you get to have a say in which demo is the best of 2017 in a certain category. And if you have an opinion about demos, and if you're one of the few remaining people who still write very elaborate comments on Poet, then by all means do apply to be a juror, because
what are the responsibilities of a jury? Do you discuss with other people? How much time does it take from your schedule to become a jury? Can you go a little bit deeper into that kind of details?
So, as a juror, you have a few responsibilities. We collect applications from people, and then we collect them until the 11th of February, and then our head of jury, Urs, will go over that pool of applicants and select them into juries. We're trying to have 3 jurors per jury for each category. Mm-hmm. So we need 27 people, unless we start assigning people to juries to more than one jury, which is entirely possible.
Has that happened in the past?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we've always had people be jurors in multiple juries. At least a few people share juries in the past.
Okay.
But it's
what is the job?
The job is to watch demos.
Oh my god,
so
that's so hard. I don't think I could do that.
About it.
Oh my god, and I already applied. Oh my god, what am I going to do with my life? I have to watch demos.
For that.
You're watching demos right now.
Oh, I am? I thought I was talking with you guys. What's Someone hijacked my live stream and put demos on it. Okay, you were saying, Dojoe, so what are the responsibilities? You watch demos and then what?
You watch demos, and the idea is that the jury is responsible for, out of all productions of 2017, people are responsible for out best productive category of the year. Actually becomes work in a way, because you have to, if bad comes to worse, you have to watch all demos of 2017 in a row, or at least have watched them at some point in time and have an idea of which demos are good. You can't just go to Poet and watch the top 10 and be done with it. And that's where it gets tricky.
I mean, if you follow the demo scene and all of the releases, or at least the best ones, the top ones, from the ones that get more comments, you usually already have that covered, more or less.
Not really, because we're we at the Meteoriks have kind of this this idea of finding the hidden gems of demos, like demos that weren't released at a big party, demos that weren't released at a party at all. Like
it has comments on Poet.
It still has comments on Poet, that's true.
Or like demos that were like demos that placed like 6th at some party, but are still like essentially underappreciated.
Yeah, like have a very good soundtrack, for example.
Something like that, for example. And that's where just looking at the Poet top 10 doesn't cut it. So that's kind of a real responsibility you have as a juror. And then once you have 3 people to kind of share that work with. Like when I did storytelling 2 years ago, we first made a list of all demos of Poet. I actually scraped Poet for comments, and then picked out all the prods where it said story somewhere in the comments. Story.
Oh my god,
or tale,
that's cheating!
Like that.
What about if no one ever mentioned story or tale? Then you would have completely missed it, and it might still be awesome.
That's why you have 3 jurors and not just 1.
That's one of the things, and also that's where the suggestions via the website come in, where everybody can suggest prods for the jury to look at. And that kind of helps us uncover prods that we might have missed.
Do you have like discussions between the juries to decide which ones?
Absolutely, that's kind of crucial, and we leave it to each of the juries how they organize their work together. But eventually, about let's say 2 or 3 weeks before the show, before revision, they have to come up with a list of up to 5 nominees. It doesn't have to be exactly 5, but it has to be up to 5, no more.
Okay.
And sometime before the show, like at least 1 week before the show at the latest, ideally earlier.
At the latest, yeah.
At the very absolute latest, they have to tell us a winner, and if they want to, an honorable mention, where like they can't pick 2 winners, but if they say, okay, that is super close, and we would like to award these 2 productions, they still have to pick 1 winner, but they can also pick 1 honorable mention, which doesn't gain you anything except that you have an honorable mention. It doesn't get you an extra stature.
Are the 5 nominees fixed? I mean, what if they're like 4 that are really good, and then the 5th one is like, eh? Do you still put 5 them up, or
4 is fine? 4 is fine.
Yeah, it's up to 5. So you can nominate 3 productions if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then
so,
as Dojo said, we don't impose any rules on how the jurors are voting. So we don't say you have to use this voting scheme to get to the winner. So everybody can come up with their own plan, and I think that makes it much easier for the jurors to get to work, because they don't have to learn or adapt to a system that they might not be comfortable with.
How do you make sure that you don't end up with 2 juries that are biased towards, I don't know, I'm thinking specifically in music. If you pick 2 juries that are biased, that they like electronic music better than, I don't know, folk music, how do you make sure that it's an unbiased process where all the different ideas and styles don't get compromised? How do you make sure of that?
That's kind of Ors's job, because Ors knows half the demo scene personally, and so he can kind of tell. I think Ors is capable of putting together a jury that, even if some of the jurors by themselves are biased one way or another, that the total jury together is as unbiased as possible.
That was one of the largest difficulties that we have at Scene.org. When we were doing the Scene.org Awards, I was involved a little bit in them. Actually, I was involved a lot in a few of the years. I was like head of jury at some point. We tried to make sure that we would have people from like We had programmers, we had musicians, we had graphicians. At the same time, we tried to distribute it geographically as much as possible. So we had people from the different countries, so you wouldn't have like the Scandinavian conspiracy happening.
Sure.
So that was one of the biggest challenges, and I had some very good surprises, like people who I thought definitely would be biased, and then when I go watch their votes, they're like, okay, I really like this, but I think that other one should win, because it's not about my personal preference, it's about what should be awarded by most people would like. So in that aspect, it was a welcome surprise. Although a few other people still follow their blind concept that, okay, this is what I like. I don't like rock and roll music, for example. So if this demo has rock soundtrack, if it has guitars, I'm gonna say that it's crap.
Not want to do that. Yeah. I think that's. That's mostly Urs's job, but if you look at the jury members of the past years, you will see that there are mostly people who know their stuff, who know their category.
Yep.
They are well respected in that category as well. Like have won or participated for years in a specific compo, and so have the unbiased view on what the quality benchmark is. At least that would be my that's my opinion on it. And I think even though we might not always hit that mark with the perfect jury, we certainly try to, and I guess that's what we hope for every year. Because the thing is that jury, as you know, PS from the Scene.org Awards, it's a lot of work, and there are not many people who want to be burdened with that amount of work.
They would rather do demos. They'd rather be doing demos for revision instead of watching other people's demos.
Beer or something. I don't know.
That is one of the problems that we have. That some of the people we would love to have as jurors and that would love to be jurors are actually saying, I can't.
I can either make a demo or I can be juror. I cannot do both. Yeah, we had that quite a couple of times.
Actually, answering your earlier question, I would say it's about 3 to 4 weeks part-time. Like, the whole process of jurying spread across 4 weeks, and I would say you spend about 2 to 3 evenings a week just doing that. So it is work.
Dojoe, do you want to talk a little bit about what's currently playing right now? Because this one was not a nomination for anything, but you suggested that we should really watch it. So why is that?
Because it's a very cool and interesting story and presented in an interesting visual way. It's actually from back 2015. Yeah. It was released at Revision 2015 when we did the Meteoriks in 2016. We reviewed this among a lot of other productions in the storytelling jury that I was a part of. And this production kind of stuck with me afterwards. Just for the...
I am ashamed that I don't remember it. What compo was it in?
The wild compo.
I think it was the animation compo, yeah.
I usually don't have time to watch that, sadly.
Like 4th or 6th or something.
Yeah, the thing is, the animation and game compo block is the block we have just before the fire brigade comes to inspect the venue, and I'm usually too stressed with them. I have to make them happy. So there's some
putting out
compos
all the little fires before they arrive.
Exactly, like literally. It's like we have sweeps. We have sweeps of the hall and remove like sleeping bags and mattresses. And if we see some hazardous things, we remove them an hour before the fire brigade comes. Sometimes the fire brigade comes an hour early, and we were surprised. That can happen, and it can get really, really, really hairy. So we had one I don't want to distract with revision talk. Let's keep talking about the Meteoriks. But if we have time later, I have some interesting stories about that. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't see that. It's amazing. That was an amazing production.
It was. It kind of stuck with me for it because it's so crisp.
And it was not nominated, unfortunately enough, because there were other better ones.
Yeah, we were already we already had our fill of 5 productions to nominate. So this one didn't make the cut, but it's still, in my opinion, it's still a very good and memorable production. As far as
this one that we're watching now is actually by Still, is Coronoid, and it did win a Meteoriks award. It won the best high-end demo, 2015.
It actually won 2 awards.
It did?
Best high-end demo and best soundtrack.
That is
soundtrack,
true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was also nominated for best art direction. So very good year for and some people actually disliked this demo because it was so cinematic. They felt it was a bit like fake or betraying the roots of the demo scene. But it's one of the things that I liked about it. It was that it didn't stick, you know, with scrollers and simple effects. It had a different approach to a demo, and I think it worked really well. I really liked it when it came out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in quite a long time.
Same goes for the soundtrack, actually.
Yeah, it's very conceptual, so to speak. It's like, it leaves you wanting more. At least that's how I feel when I see it. Because it's like, I need more of this because it's great.
Daskon is asking a question on the chat about the media facade. Will it exist in 2018?
Right now, it doesn't look like that, Daskon. I'm sorry. The people who usually provide the media facade, they're very busy with other events this year. I still am not 100% sure if it's not gonna happen, but right now it looks like we won't have it this year.
Okay.
But if we will have an announcement on Pullman and Facebook and everywhere where you might be reading it. Yeah.
D.Fox, can you tell us a little bit about? Do you have conversations in revision, thinking about ideas for new compos very often, or is it like common that revision is already so overcrowded with compos that you just stick with what you have?
We think about it from time to time. I mean, we introduced quite not a lot of new compos, but we did introduce something like the paint over compo like a couple of years ago, and the animated GIF, which was much different from what I expected it to be. It's actually a very nice compo. We had the 8K a couple of years ago where we started with it. So there's always discussions around it, also about canceling certain compos because there are not enough entries, or like where there's no progress to be made. Like I think Lars wanted to cut down on the 4K because he was sick and tired of seeing 4D fractals 3 years in a row. But luckily the 4K scene changed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But there are always discussions about it, and for quite some time. Do you have
any changes for this year in particular, or is it the same as last year?
No, there won't be any compos cut. There won't probably be any new compos. We are trying to find a time slot to have a live graphics compo, same as we have the live coding compo.
Oh.
But it's a timetable issue because we are very, very tight in terms of time at revision. The timetable is so full. We already have usually no time to fix any delays we might have earlier in the day. So it will be a very controversial decision if we decide to do that, because the teams will have to work very hard. And if you do a combo for the first time, especially something that's live on stage, it usually has delays. So, but I had discussions with a couple of people. One of them being Cosmic of Nuance, who did the Meteoriks Award statue, and he wants to have a live 3D modeling compo for some years now. But
that would be cool.
Did not yet find the time, but I still want to do this.
Or even photoshopping stuff real time would be nice. Doesn't really need to be 3D, but I think both ideas are cool.
Like
even combined, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can make this happen this year, but I'm not that confident right now. But I hope that at the latest next year we will have something for graphicians. So because live Photoshop pixeling or painting or 3D modeling, that is something that is very visual, and you can can have a crowd cheering you on. You can feel the pressure the same as the coders do, and I would really like to have.
I'm having even another idea.
That, yeah.
How about if you do like you already have the live coding to do an effect, and what if you try to do like a whole 3-man crew doing live? Like one is doing the soundtrack, the other one is doing the graphics, and the other one is doing the code, and you would have like 1 hour to do that, and you're
20-minute demo.
Yeah, and you're battling with another crew at the same time. Because one of the things that you have on the live coding is that sometimes it feels a bit boring because you can't really see the code that you're typing. You're just seeing at the results aren't really moving. If you at that point, if you would cut to whatever the other person is doing, that might make it more interesting. And at the same time, you would have a final result that's more demo. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea. I'm just a bit scared of the logistics that would...
You have to have a lot of cams.
A lot more cams, a lot more stations. I think KB wouldn't be too happy, because I think what we have what the kind of video equipment we have on the stage is not enough to stream the amount of screens we would have to have. But
if you would have all 3 screens next to each other, and how do you currently send the frame buffer that you have watching on the laptop to you? You have like a network thing, right?
Yeah, we have NewTek TriCaster on our streaming desk, and they actually mix the videos and put it back on the screen and also on the stream. But every machine sends a separate HD signal to the beam stage, where the NewTek TriCaster will gather all the streams, and our staff is mixing and rearranging and going full screen or not on the separate.
It would definitely be more logistics.
Streams. Yeah.
Well, just an idea, you know.
That's not a bad idea. You know, that's one of the reasons why I think 2 years ago in a survey we were asking people if they would attend revision, if it would be a day longer, because there are some ideas that just don't fit in what we have right now without radical rethinking of the amount of compos and the compos that we do. So an additional day would open up quite some possibilities, but it's also an expensive thing to do, both for whatever the stuff we have to rent and for the people that attend, because it's 1 more day of vacation, 1 more day at the hotel if you have a hotel and everything, 1 more day of food and drinks. So it's a very hard question to answer if we will have that at some point. So I don't know. I would like it, but it would also put quite a strain on the personnel, so to speak, because I mean, we are there for 8 days around the clock with build up and tear down. So make that 1 day more. That's gonna be even harder, because 1 day more party does not mean we have 1 day more to relax. It's just 1 more day of work. The work is sometimes quite hard. Yeah, but it's not a bad idea to have to extend that dive coding to more of a
live demo
team
making
effort. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
There's one question on the chat. Laced Mushroom is mentioning that his problem with the live coding in the past was that the music rights for North America would block it being able to be watchable in North America. I don't know if this is a Twitch thing or a YouTube thing. Definitely sucks, but
it's probably YouTube then. But yeah, Twitch shouldn't do that to us, actually, because
Twitch in real time usually works fine. Unless if it's
maybe
like
the
video,
recordings, that can happen. Yeah.
Yeah, on the recordings, Twitch does check the audio signature. But on Livestream, they don't censor it. Right? At least Mushroom is saying that it was on YouTube. So yeah, YouTube is more picky with that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, it's possible that also some of our live concerts can be blocked. But if you watch it live, like actually live and not the recordings, it should be fine.
Yeah. Will you be having any concerts this year, D.Fox?
Yeah, sure, but I am not at liberty to discuss.
Oh,
yet.
Okay.
But we have quite some interesting lineup as we have every year, and
I would be happy with just the DJs, because every time I'm watching Revision from a distance, I'm always listening to the DJ sets, and here at home, dancing at home alone. I'm like, I don't care. They say you should dance, so I'm dancing. Fuck you guys. No one is watching. Yeah. And it's really fun. So I'm looking forward to the DJ sets from the usual suspects. But if there are bands, that will be even more interesting.
Yeah, not bands, but we will have some sort of live music there. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
At least, yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good demo. Or wild. Did that win?
Yes, it did.
It did.
So like
it won a storytelling award in 2000.
And the evil bot demo didn't. Yeah, I remember.
It was a really hard decision. I remember that.
I'm sure it was.
Because we had a lot of very good productions storytelling wise.
Yeah.
And in the end, we settled on this fun production because it didn't just tell a story; it kind of spun a story from totally different material taken completely out of context.
Yeah, I think the controversy with the decision was because it's mostly for German speakers. Because I'm not sure, PS, do you get the jokes that are in there? No?
Not without subtitles, and this version does not have subtitles. So this watch together doesn't allow to show them.
Okay. Generally, I think people that are not German speaking would have a lot of problems just to interpret the subtle humor, which this one has definitely.
So it's a documentary or a fake documentary about something that happens.
Documentary.
It's kind of spinning. It's kind of spinning a story about the Demoscene being kind of like the mafia or like a cult, like I don't know, Scientology or whatever. Where everybody's just paying up to the big boss, like this guy sitting right here.
Oh, I need to hide the money.
and all the peasants need to live off grass they collect on the street or whatever.
Yeah. So I think that was that could be called a controversial decision. But that's how a jury works. So sometimes it's.
So
it's
how
exactly
many Germans? How many Germans were in the jury in this one?
Oh, that's a good question.
I am not going to disclose that.
I don't confirm nor deny. Okay. So what other categories? Let me take a look at the list. Is this already 2016? No, 2015 still.
Yeah.
Best storytelling storyline. So the other candidates that were in that was The Small Matters of the Heart from Approximate, which was a 64K that was really big on that year. Cube's Adventure, which we saw, was just the production that played before. Day Trip from 8-Bit and Desire for the ZX Spectrum, which I don't remember right now. I think it was the one that had Michael Jackson and stuff. I think that was that.
Exactly.
That is possible, yeah.
Michael Jackson and the Ghostbusters.
Yeah. and the return from BitLove, which I don't remember at all.
Yeah.
Oh, but it
What?
was the invitation for revision. Yeah, that was the evil bot
Yes.
versus the good bot.
Yeah, that was Evilbot rapping at the end.
Actually, there was no good bot in there at all.
Really?
It was
Okay.
just
So
just
I'm-
evil bot.
So I'm mistaking with or confusing with
probably-
the other invitation. That
Yeah,
had
it was
the
for
good bot.
the one with good bot was like 2012 or
Okay.
13.
Yeah, for revision 2013. Yeah. Well, if you haven't seen it, you should put it in the playlist and have a look.
It is very good.
You're trying to extend the time of the show. Okay, I will
Yeah.
do that. I will do that.
Well, it was a legitimate nominee.
I will put it. I'm loading it up. Hold on.
Yeah.
Well, I should probably play
Yeah,
it
I think,
after this demo, but I will put
Yeah,
it on the
sure.
playlist.
There was a thing where I actually hoped that we would win a Meteoric for it, because just for the sheer amount of work that Oni and Luisa put into the graphics, that was would have been nice. But we understand totally that it's well. That's exactly that. That's how a jury works. The jury doesn't work like people think they might decide. So yeah.
Oh
that was
yeah,
a great
D.Fox,
one
I
as
wanted
well,
to
yeah.
ask you about the sleeping arrangements in the revision, since I've never been there. Do you highly
Okay.
recommend a hotel, or do you have like sleeping halls or sleeping mattresses? Like,
we have a sleeping area, but the sleeping area is behind the big screen.
okay.
So
are
there's
they
no
like
sleeping during the day and no sleeping until the compo ends, which
Okay.
can be quite late. And there's always stuff at the second stage. So it is earplugs very, very highly recommended.
okay?
But you can sleep. You can sleep at the in the hall. That's not a problem.
But do
but,
you have
we
those
also have
mattresses for the floor? Do you have those? Like some parties have a bunch of those lying
Oh,
around.
sadly, we don't.
Ah, okay.
So you would have to bring your own, and space is limited. Usually, sleeping area is always full.
Okay.
But I think there's nobody. I think nobody complained that it was too full to find a space. But I'm not 100% sure if that's still correct. Dojo, have you
Okay.
used the sleeping area?
No, I'm one of those posh hotel sceners.
Okay.
Okay.
Felice on the
but
chat
if
is
you- if you-
recommending me the Ibis in the Central Saarbrücken, so I guess I'll check that one
Yeah.
out. See the
yeah.
prices.
Yeah, you can check on the revision website. We have a list of recommended hotels. Those are also the hotels that our bus will, our bus shuttle will go
okay.
to once in the mornings, and I think starting at midnight until 4 or 5 in the night. So you can always
during the
get home.
night. Okay, that sounds about right. And then figure out how to get back to the party place when I wake up the next day, which should be
Exactly.
there are local buses doing the route.
Yeah,
right?
there are, and we have one shuttle on Saturday and Sunday and Monday. They can bring you from the hotel back to the party place, but I think it leaves quite early, like at 11 something, so you won't miss any compos. That's the idea of it.
Okay, people in the chat are saying different things. Some
Some
people are recommending the crystal, the other people are recommending the Kirchberg, the Mercure, and
Yeah,
Mtronic says
the
that I
crystal-
should just get the
crystal-
earbuds.
Yeah, the Crystal is actually the one of the hotels. I think the only one that you can reach with no problems by walking. It's like I think a 15 to 20-minute walk,
Ah,
and the
that's-
hotel is
that's a
full
plus.
full of Demosceners. So that's also a plus or a
Aren't
minus.
all the
depending on your
hotels full of
preferences.
Demosceners at Easter?
The Crystal definitely is, and some others as well.
Okay. I will check out the prices, see which one
Yeah.
is the best option for me. Walking distance is definitely good. I don't like spending time waiting for buses and figuring it out, those kind of things.
Then you should pick the Crystal, and usually be quick because it will be booked completely before the party. So
Has it opened already for booking, like on the website?
yeah,
or?
yes. We opened the booking last week.
Okay.
But people usually already start booking way before that because they know that this hotel will be in walking distance. But there should still be some spaces left, I'm sure.
Okay, I'll go check it. Evil bot is telling you.
Oh, we had some fun with that.
Yeah, I remember this.
The funny thing is, when we thought about this, Donald Trump was not running for president or nomination. We did this quite before, and I think Trump announced the nomination after we released the demo, and there was interesting crossover. I mean, if you think about American politics and Evilbot, it's.
I think Evilbot would win if he would run for something, anything. Toilet tunnel is even longer. Only Java. Really driving the knife. You people like fast code in Java only.
Yeah.
Software rendered Java demos.
Fairlight. Awesome. Yeah, I'm waiting for the evil bot to return as a theme because I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, everyone loves Evilbot so much. So Evilbot returns in space or something like that would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if he will return at some point because he already did, and I think he's one of the iconic themes we had at Revision. So I wouldn't completely
rule it out,
discount having him back at some point, but not just yet.
Not this year. This year there is no theme.
This year there's no theme. No.
Must be pretty cozy here for you this time. Like nothing to, actually, not really anything to prepare.
Nothing to worry about. No T-shirts to print. Since there is no theme, you don't don't even need to print stuff. No decor on the hall at all.
Actually, the process of doing this invitation was a lot of work because we had to come up with a non-theme that was still a coherent thing to tell in the invite. So it wasn't as little work as we thought it might be. It's like, we have no theme, so just do whatever. But no, obviously not. And at the party, we're just in the process of starting to discuss what we will do on location, but it will be much simpler than the past years, which were a lot of work. Not everything worked out in the end, so so it's not like we want to take it easy. We just want to see. Yeah, we had this very a tight harness, I would call, like in the past years regarding theme and execution and everything, and how we tell things on stage, how we tie it to a story. And we just thought, what will happen if we just do revision, like without limits? We just do what we want, so to speak, and just have fun with that. And that's what we did the first 2 years at Revision, and I think that was great, and I'm looking forward to it this year. So obviously we won't have people dressing up as Evilbot, and there won't be Evilbot releases or anything. That's always great with a themed party, but let's see how it works out.
Right now we are watching E-Mix from Epoch.
Oh yeah.
And this one, what does this one win? Let me check real quick. Or do you know it by
heart?
My heart.
Heart.
I remember watching this for the first time. I was like, wow, the YouTube version really is shitty.
Oh, it was only nominated. It was only nominated for 2 categories: Best High-End Demo and Best Art Direction. No Best Soundtrack? Oh my god. It wasn't nominated for Best Soundtrack. What happened to techno? People don't respect techno anymore.
Oh, tell that to Ronnie.
Yeah, but this one is pretty good.
Soundtrack.
I was doing
Absolutely.
this video about inspiration versus ripping on the demo scene that I just released yesterday, and this demo was one of the ones that were featured because this one was doubly inspired, because it was inspired by the original X-Mix series, and it was inspired by the demo from MFX and Coolers that where they had done the X-Mix at the breakpoint in 2008, something like that. So, and it's cool because Epoch managed to redo the theme in a more modern style, like with more modern shaders and stuff, but still be coherent with that original aesthetic. So and a lot of people really loved this demo when it came out.
Where was it released? Assembly?
Assembly, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think it is. Now I'm. Now I want to confirm, but I think so. Yes, Assembly. It got 5th place in the compo.
5th place, okay.
Yeah. Oh, you know, it's Assembly, so you never know what's gonna happen at Assembly results.
Yeah. What demo did get a Meteoric instead of this one in those 2 categories? Do you have that info?
Hold and Modify by CNCD and Fairlight got the Best Art Direction. And I think we will watch it soon.
Sense, definitely, yeah.
And the Best High-End demo was Coronoid by Still, which we already saw.
Coronoid, yeah, okay. Okay. Well, I think that was a tough year as well.
Yeah, they certainly had competition, that's for sure. Reality 404 is asking what's the average age of a senior. I would say 30-something.
30-something sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, there are quite some people who are in their 20s, and a handful which are in their teens. But I think the majority is in their mid-30s even, I would say.
And then we have like guys like Truck and DDT who really push the line even older.
I mean, I guess the number of people in that age range, like 40 plus, is larger than the youngsters we have, like with younger than 20, sadly.
Yeah, we're listing we're listing our own ages on the chat, and it seems it's tendentially reaching the 40s, closer than being in 30. So
yeah, I'm 39, so I'm turning 40 this year, 3 days after revision. Probably will feel like 50. So yeah, it's probably closer to end of 30s. Yeah. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that we don't know how to party.
But we're young at heart. That's what really matters.
Actually, we do know how to party because we have plenty of experience.
Exactly.
We had decades of experience to refine the concept of partying
is that like
properly.
to say it actually gets better after 30? It just starts to hurt more.
Well, if you drink more moderately, it doesn't hurt as much, or so I've been told.
Yeah, alcohol is a mild analgesic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the hangovers are worse.
Painkiller.
As you get older.
It works as a painkiller.
You said moderation
until the next day, and you have to kill the pain again.
It's the good thing with revision, we can avoid the hangover just by keep on drinking the whole 4 days, so we don't have to worry about that.
Well, I'm sure a couple of Finns and
Polish
people will actually prove you right.
I know a few.
Just don't sleep.
You don't need to sleep. Just need to drink more.
Yeah, you can say you can sleep when you're dead, but death can come sooner than you think.
Yeah.
I knew a few Finnish guys who would be used to preparing their liver for the heavy boozing by 1 week before, boozing a lot. So then they would already be in a little hangover mood, and then next week when they would do another heavy boozing session, they would already be used to it. So that's some skills that I learned while I was living in Finland. Before Boozembly, they would always do the liver punishing weekend thing, where they would booze a lot. 1 weekend.
I am pretty
before
sure it's a
Boozembly.
I'm pretty sure that's a very cute word in Finnish.
Yeah.
Like the liver punishing weekend.
Yeah.
But it's a very original Finnish idea. I think they're the only people who can come up with that kind of idea.
The Polish don't have that problem because they just
stop drinking. Yeah,
exactly.
They never stop drinking. So that's a lot of stereotypes here, based on real life experience.
So this demo, Hold and Modify, this won the best art direction. It's by CNCD and Fairlight, music by Dune, also known as Broadham States. And it actually got 3rd place at Assembly, so you see that Assembly results. Let's see who actually won Assembly that year. Let's see. Oh, it was Monolith by ASD. Okay, that makes sense.
ASD.
And Demo 2 by Expert, which got a lot of backlash because it was made in Unity, like a fast hack kind of demo. And they got 2nd place.
Yeah. But this is a very good example of like very good art direction, like combining style with music, with how they present the visuals, how they tell not sure if it's a story. It's meant to be a story, but it has a progression that that you can see, and that is direction for me.
Mm-hmm.
Alkama said like nude saunas at parties. Actually, this is like the 3rd or 4th year in a row where Finnish sceners request saunas at revision.
Do you have them?
I don't think this year. No, we don't.
There are some portable saunas, you know. It is possible.
I know, but
you should talk to the city hall and build a sauna at that event, because it will be a huge hit with all the Finnish people that are going there for tourism, you know. You could put like a big billboard, we have saunas in Saarbrücken. It will be like dozens of Finnish people just going to Saarbrücken, because it's the only place where in Germany where they can find a sauna. So think about it. You have to look, you know, forward thinking.
The problem is it comes with quite some we talked about responsibility during demo party organizing, and it's not just that we have to take care of people passing out drunk in the sauna and get dehydrated or killing themselves. It's also about
you can get a Finnish person to be responsible for the sauna. I'm sure someone will step up for that.
Finnish people responsible.
Yeah, I can think of any.
Yeah. The thing I think I'm most cautious about is the nudity aspect, because Revision's a big party with, as we said, over 30 nationalities, and
there might be a little culture shock.
Yes,
and nudity laws in Germany.
Not everybody wants to see naked Finnish sceners when they step out in the outdoor area. So actually,
Why not? It's such a sight to behold.
We talked about this, like building like a, not a maze, but like a two-circle labyrinth kind of thing, where you have to be clothed when you get out. But it's just a huge amount of logistics, and it gets so absurd that it's probably not worth doing. But I'm still waiting for the Finnish to tell me, okay, you have to rent this sauna, we will take care of that. But Urs pointed out that it's an organizational thing, that even though the Finnish want to have a sauna there, apparently nobody so far wants to take on the responsibility actually organizing it, or helps us organizing it. So I guess this year it won't happen, but I wouldn't completely discard the idea.
I wouldn't say it out loud too much, because I think if you mention that there is a possibility of having a sauna if someone steps up to organize it, one of the 40 Finnish people that are traveling to Saarbrücken will want to take care of that. So
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but we need to have enough time to actually. I actually would have to read up on regulations, if there are any in Germany, about saunas, especially the complete nude ones, which is what would have to happen at Revision if a demo party sauna is there. And yeah, on the other hand, I actually enjoy a Finnish sauna when I'm in Finland, so that should maybe remain a Finnish thing and help people to go to Finnish demo parties.
It's one of the things that I miss most about Finland, living in Finland and attending Finnish demo parties, is the sauna, actually.
Yeah.
It's a weird culture shock in the beginning, but once you get used to, it's just, it's just naked people getting drunk.
It's just exactly,
and enjoying a little heat and getting whipped with branches and stuff. That's perfectly normal. You just need to get into the spirit of it.
Yeah, whipped with branches. Isn't that Russian sauna? I don't know.
No, I think Finnish people do it as well.
Okay.
They do everything.
Speaking of Finnish people, maksan rankaisu viikonloppu.
I don't know Finnish.
That's what I'm told the liver punishing weekend is. In
liver
okay.
Maksan rankaisu viikonloppu.
I think it means running around naked at a demo party, but it's probably similar.
It's probably like a placeholder word for everything.
Yeah.
Like a big wild card.
So, actually, I will be back in 2 minutes because I have to put some wood on my fire.
Okay.
Which is not a euphemism.
So you're doing your own Finnish sauna right there.
Yeah, I need to do this to keep warm here in the house.
Alcom is asking if they have saunas at Assembly. I know there is one secret sauna there for VIP people. So yes, there is.
Ooh. You should go to Assembly after all.
Well, I've been asked to attend there to help commentate the demo compo stuff, so I will probably go to Assembly this year again. I was not planning to go since I don't live in Finland anymore, so it's an extra cost, and I'm not really getting a lot of money each month due to my current lifestyle of not wanting to work for end clients. I'm trying to do my own thing as a digital artist and content creator and that kind of stuff, so it's still not very easy to pay the bills, so I don't have that much money to travel around. So I wasn't considering going to Assembly, but Mayor contacted me asking me if I would like to go there, and I told him I would, but I'm not living in Finland. And I said, maybe we can arrange a flight. So if that happens, I will gladly go to Assembly and visit Finland again and help doing whatever needs help being done at Assembly, commentating stuff.
Yeah, I was only once at Assembly, that was 2 years ago, and I was pleasantly surprised by everything, actually. The Assembly was great. I liked the party, I liked being in the compo studio, the demos were great, and met a lot of people that I usually don't meet, and that was really nice. and I got a great tour from Abyss about the whole party place and everything and the logistics. Asked how they organize it. That was a fun
They
3 days.
do those tours a lot. I remember having one of those tours in 2005, so that was 12 years ago. That we went there and we were like just a bunch of people, and all of us were like party organizers, but obviously smaller parties. So I met like one of the main organizers from Chaos Constructions, for example, in St. Petersburg, and other people, and we were there from Inertia Demo Party, of course. That was the year of Inertia Demo Party 2005, and Abyss was showing us around all the network stuff. Like they have huge issues with network to provide network to all those people. So all the logistics, the info desk, that was very interesting tour. So that was really fun. Do you guys at Revision have something similar like that?
Yes, yes. For 3 years now, we have a behind-the-scenes tour for every team. There's info team, compo team, beam team, network, and also the main orga. Behind the scenes, that is always a lot of fun to do, and there are a lot of people showing up for every tour because they're really interested in what's in how we do things and what's going on all the time. So yeah, we have that. So you're very much invited to have a look at all of them and pick up brains, because I hear there's an Inertia Demo Party 2005 revival maybe at some point, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna do one. I was gonna do one this previous year, but then the dates we selected, people weren't really. People in Portugal weren't really available to travel down to Lisbon to have it, so we ended up canceling it. But we're still talking about it. We might do one in 2018, so who knows? Would be cool. Another idea that I've been having is doing like a sort of seniors residency program kind of thing, like where you do like 1 week in the middle of nowhere, and well, you schedule it and you open like a call. People who want to come, you know, spend 1 week in Portugal, holidays, working on a demo, they could just come. And we organize the logistics of, you know, nice place, have a little sightseeing, have access to the internet so you can work on demo stuff, and that kind of thing. That's an idea I've been thinking about.
I would like that.
Yeah, so I think a few people would jump at that. I don't know if people can have like 1 week holiday out of nowhere. I think people would rather spend their holidays doing something else, but I know some sceners might want to come to Portugal and enjoy holidays here.
I'm sure you wouldn't have a problem getting 10 or 15 people to something like that.
So yeah, so that would be nice, because I know a few locations who do usually like creative residencies kind of thing, so it would be nice like to rent a place for just demo scene people only. And it wouldn't be a demo party, but you know, we would socialize and. It
doesn't have to be. I mean, Farbrausch does their demo retreat every year. That's a 2-week event, and it's very interesting. I've been there 3 times now, and it's a super creative atmosphere. There's a lot of people there. You can talk about everything, and you can see how people work and what they are working on, and that's a lot of fun. And I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work in Portugal. There's even nicer weather there and everything.
Yeah,
usually
our big plus is usually the weather and the food. So yeah. So yeah, I've been thinking about that, and I have to try to find dates for it that make sense in 2018. Like make sense in the international calendar of stuff, because if I book it for like the summer, there are so many demo parties during the summer that it won't really make much sense. But if it's like
I think it would make sense like before Easter or after like August, like September and later or something.
It's still good weather here.
A hole in the demo party calendar, and it's not too hot. It's not completely mid-season. So yeah,
maybe October would be a nice month. Well, I'll have to think about it.
If you do something, Just don't do it in November.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold, so that's not nice.
It's gonna be cold, okay? Yeah. Sounds good.
Well, that's the idea. Okay, so what are we watching right now? We are watching Lunatico.
Watching LFT. Lunatico, yeah.
And did this win anything?
Also
it got
a 10-minute deal or something.
It got nominated for shitloads of categories. The That's Not Possible on This Platform category, the Best Low-End Demo category, the Best Storytelling Storyline Plot category, and the Public Choice also got third place in Public Choice, I believe. And it didn't win anything, strangely enough. Even though it's such an awesome demo.
Well, it is an awesome demo and an outstanding technical achievement indeed. But I think it was wasn't it the same year when they released 8088? So that was very, very tough competition.
I think it was the year after.
It was the year after.
I'm pretty sure it was the year after.
The one that won the That's Not Possible on This Platform award was Wonderland 13 by Sensor Design, which also had some groundbreaking stuff for the Commodore 64.
Exactly, yeah. I guess that had the overall nicer package.
Which is curious because they both were released at X, and Wonderland 13 got third place at X, and Lunatico got second place at X, and the Phoenix Code, which won X, was not nominated for anything at all.
Okay.
on the Meteoriks awards, at least. So
actually, I would consider that actually a great thing, because that for me means that the jury does their job and not just picking the top demos or anything from Puit or from several parties. So they do the actual job and watch everything and have an opinion about it and vote internally on what their 5 top picks are. Yeah.
So definitely
actually, yeah. Actually, we have dojoe. How many categories do we have this year? 10 or 9?
9.
9, yeah.
9. Okay, so I maybe should order some trophies. What do you think?
You sure?
I don't know.
Maybe some.
Maybe
of the
nobody
juries
will
don't
win
come
in
up
any
with any
category.
winners.
Okay. Well, then I'll have even more Meteoriks at home. I already have 4 spares. That's the perks of.
Where do you guys order them? I remember for C.org we had to order them from Estonia because it was like the cheapest that we had or something like that.
Oh, okay. Actually, they're German made.
Okay.
That's also a company that Cosmic of Nuance works a lot with, and they do high quality 3D printing, which is what they did for this statue. So they had a 320-hour print to print this statue in the highest resolution possible. Then there was a mold made of it, made from that print, and that is used. We have a silicon mold. I have it at home, and that will be used to make, I think, metal mold, and then it will be. I'm not sure what the English word is for, like pouring hot,
cast forged,
casting. Yeah. So that will be cast in. I think it's. So what's the English word for that?
Bronze.
Copper.
Isn't it bronze?
No, it's not bronze. Wait. And it is. No, I don't want to know it in French. Brass.
Brass.
Oh, right.
Brass. Yeah. And after it's cast, it is going through a very sophisticated finishing process. We have a separate company for that. So one company just does the casting, and the other guy, he is actually doing a lot of things with acids and dissolving things to give it a patina, and then he's brushing it with different strength brushes and gives it the actual used metal look we have there. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So that also means that no two statues are different, right?
Yes, every statue is unique in that effect. They're cast from the same mold, but everyone is hand post-processed, so to speak. Yeah.
So how much do they cost, or am I allowed to ask that?
You are allowed to. There's no reason why I shouldn't tell you. I think a single one is about 150 euros, and no, you probably didn't have one in your hand. They're actually quite massive. They're very heavy because it's full metal and everything. And I think the initial molding and printing, that was about 2,000 euros. I think there was a lot of
so 2,000 for the mold, and then 150 for each one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, with the post-processing and everything, but it varies every year because we order. If you order like 20, it's obviously going to be a bit cheaper than we just do 10. And sometimes they increase prices because I think that kind of industry is highly dependent on actual prices for metal, which surprisingly sometimes change quite a bit. Yeah, but I think it averages about 130 to 150 euros.
Okay. Neon, I was asking a question. I don't remember the prices for the C03e02 Awards anymore, to tell you the truth. I would have to go look on old emails, which I probably don't have anymore. Maybe Leia remembers or Melvin remembers, but I remember we used to go get them made in Estonia and get them by boat and then bring them by airplane because it was the cheapest place we could find. There's a ferry boat between Estonia and Helsinki, which is relatively cheap, and Finnish people go there a lot to Estonia for sightseeing and boozing and that kind of stuff. Cheap, tax-free stuff. Yeah, so usually we would ask, like, is anyone going to Estonia on the next month or so? Can you pick up the statues for us? And we'll handle all that logistics things. As far as I remember, I could be wrong, it was so long ago, my memory is usually plays tricks on me. Anyways, Neo92 is asking on the chat, is there a gallery of awards? There's this list on poet.net, but do you guys, on your website, do you have like the list of all the awards, listing all the demos and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, exactly. On each year, we have websites like they're starting with the number of the year, like 2015.meteoriks.org, and you can see all the winners, all the nominees, with links to Poet and YouTube, I think. Yeah.
Shouldn't you have it like on your homepage? Shouldn't you have a link to all the previous years? You should, but you don't have. But eventually,
looks like it.
Eventually we'll talk with the guy that develops the web page. I wonder who that is, and he'll look into it.
Probably. Actually, it is on the homepage.
Where?
Well, on the top row of the 3-column boxes on the right. Meteoriks 2017 winners. Just click on it and you get... I have the proof right here on the screen. Dojo did a great work with the websites.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, you are correct. So
yeah, standing on the shoulders of giants.
Just go to meteoriks.org and you will have all the answers you'll ever need regarding Meteoriks, at least. So yeah, that's nice to have, like, to share with people who are curious about the demo scene. You know, just go to the site and it lists all the stuff that was great from last year, or some of the.
And while you're there, sign up to become a juror.
Yes,
exactly.
That is also quite important. I'm gonna skip the rest of this demo because it's quite long. It's 10 minutes long. And we are reaching 11, which is probably midnight for some people. So it's probably time
for me. So we
time to bed. So I think
get to an end. Yeah.
I will just play one more demo, which is mandatory, or actually is a 64K. Which is Darkness Lay Your Eyes Upon Me by Conspiracy.
Yes.
And this one was nominated for Best Direction. It won the Public Choice Award. It won the Best Storytelling Award. It won the Best High-End Demo Award, despite being a 64K. it kind of overshadowed Fermi Paradox by Mercury, which won the revision at the same time that Darkness Lay Your Eyes Upon Me. But then at the awards, it was a bit overshadowed. But it's quite a great 64K. I really love it. So I think it had good merit. So any last words? Dojo, what are your plans for the future? Just organizing stuff, going to a revision? Are you working on an entry for a revision?
Yes, it's an awards show. You may have heard of it.
The Meteoriks Awards. I heard it's actually, you and Alchema on stage.
I'm gonna be responsible for organizing the whole show, preparing everything, and also hosting the show.
And he did the website. He's organizing everything this year, actually.
Okay.
More or less, right.
At least a lot of it, yeah.
I get a lot of help though from people like Urs, like you, like a lot of other sceners. But yeah, that's kind of my production for revision. And
any last message besides the join the jury while you still have time to do so?
Join the jury. That's all.
Okay.
But I guess if you're not joining the jury, you better make a demo for revision.
Yeah. So one or the other, or you can help the compo team at revision.
You can help the compo or the info team make a demo or be a jury member at Meteoriks. That's my message.
Okay, D.Fox, is there anything else from revision you would like to mention? Any dates there are coming up for still announcing a few things or something like that?
What we want to do, which I can do right now, is I think tomorrow we'll put out a request for Shader Showdown participants. So if people who are listening, if you are a great shader coder and you want to feel the pressure on stage to be dominated or dominate your opponents while listening to great techno or drum and bass or whatever we have there on stage, while being cheered on by 200 to 500 people, well,
plus
then
the live
you
stream.
should definitely plus the live stream. So you should definitely drop us an email at the hotline 2018@revisionparty.net, but there will be an official announcement probably tomorrow during the day. Also, I think we are ready with the compo rules and the timetable that should be published this week as well. There will be no big surprises, so everybody who's already working on a production, you shouldn't be afraid that your compo will suddenly be cancelled or anything. Nothing like that will happen, so keep on working on your releases. Yeah, and I guess any last words? Yeah, I hope see you at revision, and I hope we get a couple of more jurors for the Meteoriks to make Dojo happy and make Oliver his life a bit easier. Because otherwise he'll also be the only juror for all categories. So
such power.
Yeah, think about it.
Dojo, no, Gaspod on the chat is asking for you to do another postcard. I don't know what it means, but I hope you do.
We might actually go and do that.
Okay.
So it's usually a remote submission, but yeah, why not?
Okay,
D.Fox, any last words?
No, I guess that's it. Thank you, PS, for having us and doing this every 2 weeks. It's really great, even though I don't get to watch it every time. But it's a great thing you're doing, and yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you guys for joining me this episode. It was great to have a Meteoriks show. Thank you also guys that were on the chat participating. Much love to you guys. Also quick mention to my Patreon supporters: Garfield, Punctured, Jeff, Paul Jump Update, Jakub Pamuski, El Topo, Fulcrum, and Pixel Nerve. Thank you so much for your support on Patreon. I have a little place in my heart for you guys and in my wallet as well. So thank you, Dan, and see you guys again in 2 weeks for another show with other guests and more demos for us to watch and talk about. So, bye-bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Awesome. Bye.